Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shanyori Pashya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Okay, so we are beginning a session on Brahma Jignasa, question and answers. I put the questions down, we'll start answering. And if while I'm answering any query, you can just say, you can just speak or put something in chat, then further elaborate. Okay, so I'll share the screen for the questions. So here's a question answer. Three of you asked questions. First, Yamikani. Question 1. What does the term devotee mean? Is it only for Iskcon members? Is it same as Vaishnava? Does it also apply to individuals like Christian, Muslims, or anyone who proclaims about God, who accepts God? So, meaning of devotee, simple. Actually, what we are practicing is, everything is derived from Sanskrit. So devotee is bhakt. One who does bhakti is a bhakt. Worshipping bhokta, the supreme enjoyer. So in English, it comes as devotee. So two ways of looking at that is who is it meant for? In one way, anyone who does bhakti is a devotee. So that means any Vaishnava. Vaishnava means devotee. Others, they'll have different paths. We cannot say demigod worshippers are devotees because it's fruitive. It's not out of devotion. We cannot say yogis or dhyanis, karmis, karma yogis. They're not devotees because they're not practicing bhakti. They're not on the path of bhakti. So actually, devotee means only Vaishnava if you analyze it properly. Okay, so that in one way. Now, having said that, it's come to be now that the term devotee is something like it's a convention for saying Iskcon devotee. So that is just like the modern day usage. But actually, its devotee can be any Vaishnava. But it's taken to mean Iskcon devotee. So that is just a convention. Okay, so you understand that. Now, next, another part of the question, does it apply to Christians and Muslims? As far as I know, Christianity is fruitive because they ask for things. We go to God and pray. For example, give us our daily bread and there. And as far as I know, Islam also, they have 99 names of God. And each name, if you chant, you get some benefit. It's also not, it's also fruitive. Protect me, give me this and this and that. Prabhupada said they are forms of Vaishnavism. But devotee couldn't be in the strict sense of the term. Devotion, one who's a devotee is not looking for any benefit from God. It's pure devotion. So I don't think we can use the term for them, for Abrahamic religions, Christians, Muslims, or Jews. And here it says, or anyone who proclaims to follow God. Yes, we can say that. Anyone who claims to follow God, but purely, and that will be very rare, as I said. Okay, second question. Kindly explain about Sikha and Tilak. It's hard to simply explain to other people because that's what they see first and want to know the meaning and significance. So this question came before, few times it's come. And I don't blame him. Yamikani is in Africa. I was preaching there where the country he is. And it's very common out of India, especially, I would say Africa, not so much in Europe, that when they meet you, the first thing they want to know, is what is that thing on your forehead? Why you have a sikha? Why you shaving your head? Why are you wearing this? They have no idea of anything. And then you'll not come to philosophy at all. So some say, all right, we'll preach in Karmi dress, but I was not. I was wearing this cloth. So now what is Shikha? Everything should be taken in the context of Vedic path. The Vedic system. In the Vedic system, which is the God-given system for this planet, and gradually people became less pure or away from the Vedic path, and then Krishna manifested other lower forms of practice, which are not as full in absorption. They are not so, what is the word to say, pure. Okay, so this is the Vedic path is pure in the sense that in the highest form, it inculcates full devotion, no material desires at all. So now, if we look at it in that context, in the Vedic path, everyone who was on the path of renunciation shaved their head. And as for Shikha, that was meant for personalists. Impersonalists shaved their head completely or kept short hair. And personalists had a Shikha. So that Shikha, or some say Sikha, the Sikha, it identifies personalists, devotees, that we believe in the form of God. We are devotees of God. We are not looking to merge into God. We don't want to meditate on the light. We want to become servants of God. So that is known as that for these people, they'll wear Shikha. Okay, they identify as servants of God. One more thing is, anyone who does deity worship should also wear a Sikha. Deity worshippers, they wear Sikha. And deity worship in the personal form, they wear Shikha. So this is about Shikha. Another thing is, the place that Shikha is kept is in the Brahma Rundra. That is the small hole in the skull where if you get liberation, the soul comes out of there. That is significant, that it's marking that we are aiming to become servants of God and go to His planet. So that is Shikha. And Tilak, the definition Prabhupada gives for Tilak is that he said in one quote, it is the symbol of victory. So what does that mean? It means something like all glories to the Supreme Lord, Jai. Victory is Vijay. So basically it's saying that the Supreme Lord's name, fame, glories should be spread all over the world. I am His servant, I will proclaim that. Tilak, again, Vedic culture, if you look at it in that context, everyone had Tilak. The question was not whether you had Tilak or not, but which Tilak. And so Tilak marked your sampradaya, because when someone took a spiritual path, they fully surrendered to Krishna, Vishnu, or the path they're taking. It was a big part of their life and their identification. I am servant of this, And so they wore it right on their forehead to proclaim that I am the servant of God. This is my aim. This is my identification. And so the tilaks varied. Immediately we could understand who they are. That is one. But another thing is that it's symbol of surrender, in the sense that if I, like I'm belonging to a particular political party, so I wear some scarf or color identification. Or if I belong to a certain cricket team, then I wear that. I want to proclaim it. So a devotee, symbol of surrender. My surrender is tilak, that I surrender to God. I am a servant of God. And so the tilak is worn to proclaim that. What is tilak? It is the feet of God on the forehead. And so I proclaim, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he gave his mercy to someone, he'll put his feet on their head. That was a great mercy, O Nityananda. The feet of God on the forehead. So I have surrendered and taken our position as servant of God, and that is the symbol of surrender. We recall in Krishna book, Kaliya, serpent, was chastised by Krishna. And then we understood that what was the reason that he was in Yamuna. He was hiding from Garuda, because Garuda, if he saw him, he would attack him. So after Krishna had danced on his hoods, Krishna's footprints were all over Kaliya's hoods. So at that time, Krishna told Kaliya, don't worry, you can go now, because Garuda will see the marks of my footprints on your hood, and he won't do anything to you. So we have mark of Krishna's feet on our forehead. So that's Tilak. Okay. So we go to the other question.
Hare Krishna, probably one question I have. So this Urdh Pundrak that we wear, does it come from the Madhva Sampradaya, or is it from Gaudiya line?
We can see actually the Madhva Sampradaya, without this Tulsi, just the top, that marks Madhva Sampradaya. But another thing is it's not so clearly defined. It's just like that, sometimes not so, now straight. So that is Madhva. And when you add this Tulasi lower part on the nose, that is Gaudiya. So we come in the Madhva line, but we are Madhva Gaudiya. So that is similar, but it is different. That is one way to look. Another way to look is Gaudiya. Actually, Gaudiyas are eternal because Mahaprabhu is eternal. They just manifest at a certain time. And so when they manifest, this is their tilak.
Okay. And one more thing, wearing this 13 mark tilak, does it have some significance, like means some negative energy? Does it counteract like that?
Marking the body in 12 places. Yeah, 13th is Vasali, but it's not really one of the 12. So that is, we follow Shastra to mark the body in 12 places. Now there's a fashion now that, in Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma, they say if you do yajna, it gives a lot of oxygen in the air. There's a benefit, scientific benefit, energies and all that. But it's all devotional. We are simply marking the body as a temple of God. Prabhupada used this statement. Supreme Lord is residing in me. I'm acknowledging and surrendering to him. I'm marking my body as a temple of God. Yeah. So about energy, of course, things like tilak, Yamadutas will not come near you. Demigods will glorify, that's all there. But just that simple point, we meditate on this point that we put tilak to mark our body as a temple of God. There could be some deeper significance which I don't know. It's not much spoken about. Beyond that, I don't.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I got a call in between and wasn't able to hear.
Okay, you can hear the recording.
What is the reason for? Okay.
How far back didn't you hear?
Just what is the reason for applying tilak on 13 different places? You said you follow Shastras, and then what?
So I was saying 12 places. It's not 13. The 13 is just,
sorry.
Well, people put it in the Sikha. So I was saying that this is simply marking the body as a temple of God. Prabhupada would answer this exact statement. We are acknowledging the Supreme Lord is within. We want to surrender to him and become his servant. We put tilak on the body to mark it as a temple of God. And more than that, I do not know. It is coming in parampara. You remember, at least before, they will not wear shirt and all that. So tilaks will be visible, not the marks. So it's identification as servant of God. The same thing. That because here, actually, no one just put that. It'll put all over the body. Same thing, what I mentioned about that. It's a symbol of surrender to God. Okay. Fine. So I'll go to the next one. Okay, so the next question, where are we? They say Guru is one as an expansion of Krishna. Please shed more light. Guru is one. Yeah, my understanding, he asked this question. Guru is one as an expansion of Krishna. Well, yes, Guru is one in the sense that Sri Guru is Guru. One form of Guru is Balaram, Nityananda also. And Sri Guru, our Guru, is simply an expansion. No, we won't say expansion, but we can say that he is a manifestation of the mercy of Sri Guru. So when we sing Sri Guru Charana Padma, that morning prayer, we're glorifying Sri Guru, the Adi Sri Guru. And so the principle, Guru, when we take a Guru, we are taking shelter of our Guru, Diksha Guru. So all the Gurus are manifestation of mercy of Balaram or Nityananda. In that way, they are one. They're not different. They shouldn't be speaking different things. They are all like that, acting as a medium for us to come to Krishna. And when we speak to Guru, when Guru talks, Krishna talks. When the Guru is speaking anything, or when the Guru says anything, it's directly Krishna, if he's properly situated, bona fide, Pramanik Guru, bona fide. That is the idea that Guru is one, that they'll all be saying the same thing, but maybe different for the time, place, circumstance. Okay? And non-different from Krishna in the sense that Prabhupada says in one place that Krishna guides us in three ways: from within as the Chaitya Guru, Paramatma. But in the beginning stage, we cannot really perceive Paramatma much. So the Chaitya Guru takes a form of Sri Guru, Diksha Guru, as well. And then, so the Krishna guides externally through the Guru and externally through Shastra. So the Guru is non-different from Krishna in the sense that he'll give Krishna's message, he'll fulfill Krishna's mission. He's representing Krishna 100%. In all thoughts and purposes, in that way, he is Krishna, but he's not Krishna. We see Guru as God, in the sense that when we give anything to him, we understand we're giving to Guru. When Guru tells us something, we see him as God, Krishna. But Guru himself will never say he's God. He'll always say, I'm servant of God. And this is the way he sees and we see. So, Guru is one, as a question asks. Yes, he is one in the sense that they'll all say the same thing. And they're all manifestations of Balaram, Adi Guru. Or we say Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Jayate. That means Gora Nitai. Gauranga and Guru, Nityananda. Nityananda, Guru is manifestation of Nityananda, if we see it through Chaitanya Leela. So that is Guru is one. And manifestation of Krishna, yes, because he's saying nothing but the Guru, Krishna's message. We have all these famous verses. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. Tas Vijnanatham Shabde Pare Chanishnatham Brahmani Upashramashre. Yeah. So therefore one has to take shelter of the Guru. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttamam. And ask for the highest benefit, ask the highest question. Just want to confirm I got that verse. Tasma.
One is that Tad Vijnanartham Sa Guru Evam.
Yeah, I mixed up those two. Okay, so Tasmat Gurum Prapadyete Jignasa Shreya Uttamam Shabde Pare Chanishnatham Brahmani Upashramashrayam. So this verse, Shabde Pare Chanishnatham. So Shabda means he's fully absorbed in the Vedic knowledge. Shabde Pare Chanishnatham. Pare means in God. Brahmani Upashramashrayam. And Shabde Pare Nishnatham means absorbed. Brahmani Upashramashrayam. And taken shelter of God fully. So the Guru should be speaking Veda, not his own thoughts. He should be speaking for Veda. He'll be quoting Bhagavatam, Gita principally, because these are the main messages of Krishna. Krishna is God. So Guru will be speaking these messages principally, and he'll be a servant of God. He'll always be seen to be surrendered to God and seeing, he'll be seen to be doing that. He'll be heard, and from his words you can tell he's a servant of God. He'll be advocating surrender to God. So these two things are very important in this verse. Tasmad Gurum Prapadyata Jigyasu Shyotam Shabde Pare Chanishnatam Brahmani Upashramashram. And then the next part, another verse which speaks about Guru, that Tad Vijnanartham Sagurum Eva Vigachet Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Samit Pani means Tasma, therefore, because this verse is coming in a series. Therefore, Tasma Gurum Prapadyata, surrender to the Guru, accept a Guru. Tasma Gurum Prapadyata, Jignasa Shreya Uttamam, ask him, no, sorry. Tasma Tadvigyan, I just changed the verse. Tadvigyanartham sagurum eva bigachet samit pani shrotriyam brahmanishtam. Okay, so Tadvigyanartham, we should know the highest knowledge. Tadvigyanartham sagurum eva bigachet, by approaching a guru. And if you look at that verse, Sagurum eva bigachet, that in Sanskrit, that is, you must approach. That's the language. Not approach, eva bigachet. Gacha means go. The way the word comes is you must approach a guru to get the highest knowledge. Tat vijnanartham Sagurum eva bigachet. Okay, then Samit Pani. Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Samit Pani means, now you're going to the Guru, don't go empty-handed. Take the wood for the sacrifice. In other words, we don't go empty-handed. Samit Pani Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. Shrotriyam means one who heard in Parampara. Shrotriyam. He heard in Guru Parampara. Shrotriyam. And Brahmanishtham means he's fixed in Brahman. He is self-realized. His thoughts are continuously how to preach, make people understand about God, and how to worship God, and how to serve God. Brahmanishta. Nishtha means fixed. He's fixed in Brahman. He's not also running he's not also trying to increase his material side of life or try to do sense enjoyment, etc. So in that way, Brahmanishtam, simply fixed in Brahman. That's his only aim. So these are two verses. There are many verses. In our Bhagavad Gita, it says that Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadakshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. In that chapter, Transcendental Knowledge, Krishna is giving Arjuna everything about transcendental knowledge, including transcendental knowledge, how to get it, and the history about it, everything. So he said, and finally, if you want to know, Tadvidhi pranipatena, you should approach a spiritual master, pranipatena, then pariprashnena, question, sevaya, and serve. We have to serve the Guru for knowledge, not just be question or not just approach, service. Then he said, Upadikshanti, he will initiate you into knowledge. Dikshanti, te jnanam, jnaninas tattva darshina. He will initiate into knowledge. Why? Because tattva darshina, he has seen it. He's seeing the knowledge. He's seeing Krishna. He can give you Krishna. He sees the Brahman. He is immersed in Brahman. He can give you. So Krishna himself orders that. So that is that question regarding is Guru one? Yes, Guru is one. In the sense, one, all of them have the same aim. They're all manifestations of Adi Guru, Balram, Nityananda. And Guru is Krishna. Yes, Guru is Krishna. In the sense that he is giving only Krishna's expansion of Krishna. He's doing the aim of Krishna, propagating Krishna, speaking only Krishna's instructions. That is it. Okay, next question. What is the relationship between Guru and disciple if both make it to Vaikuntha planets? And what happens in the next life if disciple fails to make it? So actually this was in the last session also, same question. But Yamikhani is considering taking Diksha. So definitely this is on his mind. First part of the question is, what happens to the Guru-disciple relation if Guru and Krishna make it to Vaikuntha? So now I had to say, any question that comes about Vaikuntha, Goloka, I cannot say much because I'm very much stuck here in this material world. And I am not so realized. But what Shastra says, I'll repeat. And I don't have much knowledge in that area, that region of creation. So what happens if now the Jiva is eternal servant of God. He has his role in Goloka. So when he goes back, he'll do that. What is he doing? Packing Krishna's lunch? Or is he taking Krishna, helping, going with Krishna to herd the cows? Or maybe he's a calf. Krishna is reciprocating with Krishna. So he will do his role. What will the disciple do? He will do that. What will the Guru do? I don't know what the Guru will do. Guru is also eternal associate of Krishna, as it says in Sri Radhika Madhavyorapara. The next one. Nikunja Yuno Ratikeli Siddhyai Yayali Apekshaniya Tatrati Dakshat Ativalabhasya Vandigaroshi Charanara. The Guru is very dear, Ativalabhasya, to Krishna, because he is expert in making arrangements for the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna in the groves, Nikunja, in the groves of Vrindavan. So the Guru is the eternal associate and he will return to Krishna. And the disciple will. And what is their relation? I cannot say I know that. But what I know is that the Jiva soul will go back to his position. Everyone will go back to their position in Krishna Lila. Okay, that is my understanding. Okay, and next question. What happens in the next life if the disciple fails to make it to Vaikuntha? So the Guru comes back and delivers him. Okay. Now some say, who will that Guru come? Another Guru, Prabhupada. So there's a quote of Prabhupada where he says that the Guru is not the body, it's the principle. So Sri Guru will come and deliver him. Okay, more than that I don't know. And it would be good to focus more on Sambandha Gyan. This is very well if everyone gets liberation, but we have to get liberation. That's also not easy. Okay, but definitely this is something we should know. People want to know. Okay. Next question by Vivek. 2 questions here. What happens to people who wear Kanthi and Tilak for show but don't follow the 4 regulative principles? So this is a form of aparadh that it shows insincerity or duplicity. And so somebody who's posing as a devotee and not following will not advance. Simply put, he'll not advance. Everything will be in vain because he's not practicing bhakti and putting all that to please Guru and Krishna and Guru Parampara. He's got some other aim because otherwise he's not doing fulfilling the criteria for that Kanthi Mala and Tilak. So definitely he'll not advance. Now more than that, if he does some big offenses, he'll have to suffer. He'll take birth in a devotee environment because his bhakti is counted, but he'll suffer. In the Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, there's a story of someone who was born, I can't remember the detail, but he was born into suffering, but approached Bhakti Siddhanta as a disciple. And then once Bhakti Siddhanta showed him that this is the Vaishnava you offended in your last life, something like that. And there was also a relative of, was it Bhakti Siddhanta or Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was born in a Vaishnava family, their relative, and but he was not mentally sound. And as his age went, he went more and more mentally unstable. But at the end, what happened is that when he was about to leave his body, he was lying on the bed, and all the tilak marks in 12 places became bright, and some prominent Vaishnavas entered the room, manifested, and he said that in my past life I was a Vaishnava, I offended someone, now that's why I suffered, something like that. Anyway, So my point is that if someone is practicing bhakti insincerely and putting the tilak and kantimala just to show, but not following, then he'll not advance. If it's some serious offense, he's using it to cheat people, then there may be a heavy offense. And I don't know much more than that. So that is that. Yeah. You can just stop me if any more clarification needed. If they don't follow four regulative principles. Now, what if they're putting this, but don't follow the four regulative principles? Yeah, that's an offense. I mean, don't pose. I personally was preaching to someone and he could not give up worshipping Sai Baba. So I told him, then don't wear tilak and kanti because you are not a devotee. You should be manifesting as a devotee. Otherwise, why are you putting these symbols? So I told him. So he didn't then. Next question.
Probably in Bengal we have many these upper sampradayas. I have seen they will eat all non-veg and do all illicit things.
Yeah.
But they will wear the kantimala also. So I have spoken to them also sometime. Yeah. And they say that, oh, God has not told us to not eat all these things. So they have their own rubbish philosophy. So what happens to them? Because they are also taking Harinam also, right?
See, whatever bhakti we do, there will be some benefit. But it's not done properly, you will not get the full benefit. Some benefit is there, but they'll not get the full benefit. And that is one thing, but they have to take a bona fide guru, and the guru has to be connected in bona fide parampara. They should be sincere. Only then it will work. The whole process will work. It's very particular. Okay, and now what happens to them? Some people are misguided themselves. They're not aiming to cheat, but they're told you do this, and they think, and it's going on like that. They may meet someone who will clarify something, or maybe not. But, in Manu Samhita it says, whenever punishments are given, they take into account, is the person, it's not the same punishment for everyone. Some are misguided. Then you have women, children, not so intelligent. So they'll not get the full punishment. So many things are taken into account. But the point is, if they are doing it knowingly, it will be more severe punishment. If not, so many people are misguided. Manda sumanda matayo, it says in Bhagavatam. Kali Yuga people are misguided. Sumanda matayo. What to do? I cannot say, I don't know what will happen to them. But just that you cannot advance if you're not following the proper prescription. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. So then, question 7. We know that Advaita Acharya was the incarnation of Shiva, but we don't know much about Gadadhar Pandit and Srivas Pandit. Okay, so actually, as you may know or not know, Chaitanya Charitamrita gives a whole chapter, almost, is it? Yeah, to these personalities. Gadadhar Pandit is incarnation of Radharani, Srivas Pandit, Narad Muni. The Pancha Tattva are manifesting different Shakti, different forms. How do you say it? Parasya Shakti. You can say different Shaktis or manifestations of God. So you have the Panchatattvatmakam, Krishnam, Bhakta Roop, the form of a devotee, Bhakta Roop, Swarupakam. Swarup is expansion of a devotee, expansion of God, that is Nityananda. Bhakta Swarupakam, Bhakta Avatar is Advaita Acharya. Bhakta Avatara, Bhaktakyam. Namami Bhakti Shakti. Bhakti Shakti is Gadadhar Pandit. He is the Shakti incarnation. And Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa, Swarupakam, Bhakta Avataram Bhaktakyam, Namami Bhakti Shakti. Bhaktakyam, Srivas Pandit. So he's a devotee. So then you have Jiva Tattva in this Panchatattva. Then you have Shakti Tattva. Then you have the expansion of God, Swarup, and Avatar. So the 5 ways that Krishna is manifest. Doesn't mean that they are Krishna. Jiva is not Krishna, but we expanded from God. So all together these constitute absolute truth. Now Gadadhar Pandit is in the Panchatattva, representing all the Shakti Tattvas. Shakti devotees associates in Shakti Tattva category. That means like Jagadananda Pandit, he is also Satyabhama. And then you have all the gopis and, in that Shakti part side. Gadadhar Pandit is representing them. And he's incarnation of Radharani, but not showing the mood of Radharani, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took that mood. He is simply assisting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastime to worship Krishna. That's his role. And he's silent, he doesn't say much. His whole Radharani's character mood has been taken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he's simply silent, and he was very much immersed in hearing Gita and Bhagavatam from the beginning. He was even a close friend of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from a young age. Actually, there's a whole lecture on this on YouTube, Bhakti Vikas Swami. You can search it. It's, I think, 2 hours or something, Gadadhar Pandit. The last appearance day it was given. So you can read more about that. Gadadhar Pandit, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu shifted to Jagannath Puri, he came and there he served Tota Gopinath. Gopinath, Tota means God, and Gopinath next to Chatak Parvat. He remained there till the end, and he could not worship properly because Gopinath was very tall. So later on, Gopinath sat down, almost knelt down just for Gadadhar Pandit, and so the deity is kneeling down, not the cross-legged, for the benefit of Gadadhar Pandit. Srivas Pandit is an incarnation of Narad Muni in the Chaitanya Leela. It was in Srivas Pandit house Chaitanya Mahaprabhu performed all-night kirtan. In Krishna Leela, the supermost pastime which occurred at night is the Ras Leela, the highest. The same in Chaitanya Leela was Nama Sankirtan. Golokara Premadhana Hari Nama Sankirtan. So the Nama Sankirtan happened all night at Srivas Pandit's house, Srivas Angan. There Mahaprabhu danced and chanted. It was private, it was not in public. Then later on, it became public. They went out. Initially, it was just, and in Srivas, yeah, there's some things mentioned that anyone who does Kirtan in Srivas Pandit's house, Mahaprabhu comes. So whenever we go there, we do Kirtan. So that is Srivas Pandit. It was, I think his wife was Malini. And once during the Kirtan, their son died. The women were crying. Srivas Pandit got angry and said, "Be silent, you will spoil the Kirtan. Why are you making noise?" And so they were silent. But then Mahaprabhu felt something's wrong. And so he looked, found out. He asked Srivas Pandit, "Something wrong?" He said, "Yeah, my son died." So, "Oh, and you didn't say anything. You continued the Leela." "Okay, in that case, I am going to be your son, me and Nityananda." So they took Srivas Pandit's wife and Srivas as their mother and father. So Srivas Pandit, very close. These are members of Panchatattva, the Lord in 5 features. Yeah, there's a lot given in. You can read that small book by Maharaj Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as well as Chaitanya Bhagavat, some chapters, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, I don't know much. That's what I have. Okay, we'll continue questions. Okay, yeah, here it is. When we do puja, we show dhup and agarbatti to Prabhupada, asking him to offer dhup and diya to the Lord. After we offer the 2 things to the Lord, I also offer dhup and diya to the whole Guru Parampara. To the whole Guru Parampara. I'm not sure if this is the way. Yeah. Each item that we offer, first we show it to our initiating spiritual master, or if not, then to Srila Prabhupada. And we show it to Prabhupada and the Guru Parampara, requesting that please assist me to worship, or on my behalf, can you worship And so then we begin to worship the main Vigraha, Radha Krishna or Jagannath. Then Panchatattva, then Narasingha, then Shad Goswami, Guru Parampara. All the items are like this. This is how we do it. Okay, that is the way. In Beginner's Guide, you can have a look, some more information. You're doing home standard. The temple standard is very different, very elaborate. Home standard is you can do this. You can offer agarbatti and a flower. Of course, if you have deities, it's different. So this is how you do it. You show the Guru Parampara, then you start to worship Radha Krishna. After that, you worship Panchatattva, Narsingha, Tulasi, Shad Goswami. And when you come to Shad Goswami and Guru Parampara, we don't do it the same way. We just show them, or just 3 times circle. Otherwise, it's more elaborate. Vigrahas on the higher level. Okay.
And Prabhuji, how many times always Vivek Prabhu always informed me and told me that this is how we do it, but I always forgot. So can you repeat once again? Yeah, how many times to the feet? And
now we have that 4, 2, 3, and 7. This is in the Beginner's Guide. Okay, 4 times feet, then 2, then 3, then 7 all around. Okay, Panchatattva also. And when you come to Narsingha is same, but Sheshnag in Narsingha 3 times, Prahlad Maharaj 3 times, then Tulasi 3. No, Tulasi again we'll do 4, 2, 3, and 7, and that also in Tulsi Arati. But when you come to Guru Parampara, then it's 3 times, or some just show. And I'll tell you one thing. Iskcon Vrindavan, they have a book printed. They have a little separate system, and Mayapur. So there'll be small variations in this. It's small variations. What I said, it's not a big thing. But now in Beginner's Guide, it's written, especially for home standard, don't start counting. Just do it. Estimate, try and do it. It's okay if you count. I'm just saying it's written in Beginner's Guide that you can. Out of devotion is more important, not. Yeah. Now, for this, if you want a deeper answer, I'll speak to you personally. I have to see your setup. Actually, I saw your altar. I just tell you now. Okay, you see, if you see here, what I put for your question, especially the last one, it's specific. So I was going to speak with you personally. Okay, but now, all right, just if I just tell you briefly from the picture where you put, it's on the group also. Oh, we got some more questions. All right, so the picture you showed me of your altar, I'll just tell you, if I'm not mistaken, your main Vigrahas are on the top there. Now, as far as I know, the main deity should be one. Jagannath. You know, some people like to put so many, but if you look at the fact that like in one altar you have one main deity, it's not a rule, but it's the practice. Even if you look in temples, they may have 3 altars, but in each altar there's one deity, main deity. Vishaya Vigraha, the main deity we worship. So that is a suggestion. This is not wrong what you did, but it's a practice to put one, like who, you know, your object of worship and meditation. Because the system of deity worship, Prabhupada gives in a quote, is that we'll be attached to a temple or in our house, and we'll meditate on the deity all constantly. Like when we're going out, let me buy some fruits for the deity, for Krishna, or what will I offer Krishna? And this festival is coming, so what shall I do? I'll offer this flower. You know, and for pleasure of Krishna, I'll call more associates, my friends, and together we'll, you know, like that, we'll show. So we'll celebrate the festival. So now, if you have 3 or 4 deities, who are you meditating on? So that's the, you know, it's not a rule what I'm saying, but the practice was like that, you know, they'll meditate on Radha Madhav or Jagannath Prasad. Oh, it's Nanyatra. What will I do for Jagannath? You know, So that's the concept. So one, that is suggestion. And then at the bottom, second level is Panchatattva, Nrsingadev. Yeah, this is how just if you follow the beginner's guide, and once I shared a A4 sheet of paper, I can do it again, showing you, and you probably know it, what is the deity order. Second level,
yes.
Yeah. So second level is Panchatattva Nrsinga. That's it. Little on the side, Tulsi Maharani, which is very correct. You put it in between the second and third, not second, not third level. And then the lowest level is Guru Parampara and Shad Goswami. I can see them, yeah. And it would be better to have a little bigger picture of Guru Parampara and Shad Goswami. And then what Maharaj says, this is his personal, that if you have his photo, it should be below the Parampara. But sometimes we put it on the puja stool, table. So, okay, that is that. A comment on your altar. Good, you have an altar. Very good. And that you are paying attention. I would say it's very good. I don't know how many have altars. Very good. So for more personal, we can discuss more on that. Okay? Personal.
Okay, Prabhuji.
All right. Now, one more question here. I just saw. I hope this is recording because I installed Linux Ubuntu and I'm still learning it. And I hope I can get this recording. Okay, so the question here is next. What is the process for us? I just need to come out of here. What is the process for a sadhak to control lust? So sadhak, in case, just to give that meaning to everyone, sadhak is one practicing sadhana bhakti. That is the level of bhakti at the beginning level, full of rules and regulations, which is basically 99% of us. So the sadhak level, this is, I would say, a very good question, very apt question, because right at the sadhak level, our questions and our full concentration should be on developing sambandha gyan. That means understanding I am a soul and I'm not the body, how I can realize God, that I am a servant of God. So that is and that is Bhagavad Gita is invaluable for that. It's very nice, especially chapter 3, the last verses after Kama Esha Krodha Esha Rajaguna Samudbhava. Okay, so now the question. So what is the process to control lust? Lust, kam, in Sanskrit, can mean two things. Obviously means sex desire. Can also mean sense gratification. So if we take it to mean sex desire, yeah, now the whole problem of what is binding us to this material world is sex desire. Pumsa striya mituni bhavam etam tayo mito hidya granti aho atagriha ksheta sutapta vitte janasamoho ayam ahammameti. In the 5th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th chapter, it's given there that the basic binding force of this material world is the attraction between man and woman. This attraction between man and woman is what is tying us to this material world. And it increases when man and woman come together, which means marriage. Nowadays, no marriage sometimes, but this means marriage. So when they come together, then the delusion increases more, because then what will happen is that I first misidentified myself as that I'm this body. Okay, but now what happens? I'm thinking this is my body and this is my wife. That's another identification of mine. Then you'll have children, my kids, not only my body, but my wife, my kids. Then Ata, Sutta, Apta, what is it? Mituni Bhava Vitantra Vito Higranti Ahu, Ata, Gurha Ksheta Sutta Apta Vitei Janasamoho Ayam Ahammamiti. Then you need a house. A simple one person living can just go between different Iskcon temples and stay and do service, or one day just sleep under a tree or on the bank of Yamuna. But once you get married, no, you need a house. So you get a house, then my house, my horse, my cows, it increases children, okay. So now, the question here, How to control lust. Now, if the lust is engaged in the service of Krishna, dharma aviruddha bhuteshu kamo asmi. Krishna says, if you produce Krishna conscious children as a service, to purify them and to bring in devotees for the Varnashram institution or for the Gurukuls, so that is religious. It will not bind you. It is not sinful. Illicit sex is sinful. Licit sex in marriage, even within marriage, it has to be after performing Garbhodan Samskar, all these things. So that way, this is not sinful. Okay. So if it's someone in Grihasthashram, then they have to do the Garbhodan Samskar and they have to perform all the duties of a Grihastha. And deity worship is very powerful in this respect, that they have to meditate on the deity or the picture of the deity in their altar, and always meditate on, now I have to do the puja at this time, make this offering. This is in Grihasthashram. That is how they do it. It says in a purport in Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, Prabhupada says that even women can be misled and tendency to enjoy life, and how to control them, engage them in devotional service, engage them, dress the deity, make this offering, make this special offering, clean the temple, stitch a nice background for the altar, get a curtain, wash the curtain, these kind of things. Okay, that is in that sense. Now, majority, I think not majority, everyone, no one is married in this group. So how to control lust in the sadhak stage? First, understand what it is. Lust is absence of love of God. If they start drifting away from bhakti and Krishna consciousness, then lust will come. It is in everyone in a dormant stage. As long as we have a material body like this, there will be lust. Definitely. It may not be exhibited, may be dormant, but it's there. Okay. So, what is lust? It is a feature of Rajagun. Rajaguna samudhu. Kama esha krodha esha. Rajaguna samudbhava. It's a manifestation of the Rajagun, which is driving us to do sense gratification. And the topmost material sense gratification is sex. So we have to understand what it is. It is absence of love of God. The more we absorb in Krishna, especially in the morning hours, in the morning, Brahma Muhurta especially, whatever we do makes a deep impression for the rest of the day. If that part is sorted out, then it can be controlled much more easily. If in the Brahma Muhurta, we can put our mind on Krishna's, the holy name, chanting Hare Krishna, the form of Krishna, seeing the deity, and hearing, of course, I'll chant, I'll hear. And if I see so many devotees also, it's okay, even if you're alone. But that makes a powerful impression to put us in Sattva Guna for the whole day. And then that Rajaguna doesn't come to attack you in the form of lust. That's a big step. Okay, that I would say is step one, how to control lust, is the Mangalarti. Okay, second is good chanting. Chanting attentively is a very powerful way of controlling lust. Many times Prabhupada spoke about this point. He said 16 rounds. And he said in one sense, in one time, one brahmachari came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I fell down. It happens that he was a new devotee, it was in the West. So he said that I fell down, one of the women, and he was and then Prabhupada said, this is why I say you have to finish your 16 rounds in the morning. Chant 16 rounds attentively in the morning. And so that is an important instruction. I cannot do it because we are really busy. Morning hours, to spend 2 hours fully in the morning to chant. But I'm just telling you, this is what Prabhupada said. Controlling lust, number one, Mangalarati. Number two, good rounds. Say each name clearly. A third, preventative measures. Don't put yourself in a situation where you become lusty. That means don't hear, generally, this is a normal thing. People may think this is fanatic, but this is a normal thing in Prabhupada's time. Don't hear kirtans by women. Don't speak to women unnecessarily unless you have to. Make a point, don't look at women. Even if you happen to look, don't look second time. Controlling lust, yeah, that is there. Certain foods invoke lust. Honey, too much milk, too much sweets. Food which is kind of decomposed, cooked very long time ago, prasad also, invokes lust. Associating with people who are attached to women or searching after women, you know. I'm talking about sense enjoyers, women hunters, Prabhupada called it. So if you associate with them also, that invokes lust in us. These are some other points. Controlling lust. Yeah. So third was preventative. Yeah. Don't put yourself in that situation. Okay. Another powerful way, you know, I could just say bhakti, but specific I'm giving. For me and for many people, deeply reading Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam has a very powerful effect to control material desires of any sort. I recognize that. Sometimes it's not possible, and then my reading goes down, and immediately consciousness changes. So reading Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is a very powerful way for that. Yeah. So controlling lust in the sadhak stage. These are specifics. What I mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. So, does it happen that these things increase after bhakti, coming to bhakti, or is it only that we realize that fact now?
Okay, yeah, that's a point. Now, many people, you know, when you see in the modern world now, not everywhere, but generally, people are desensitized. Too much association with women, opposite sex. And so what happens is they're not affected, kind of, you know. It's like if someone, he's associated with some friends or people, and they're always abusing him, and he's not affected because they're always doing it. Like, okay, stupid, okay, they're always doing that. But if someone is not like that, and then you call him stupid, what? Why are you calling him? So now senses are weak because of constantly, you know, seeing pictures, hearing, watching movies, seeing billboards, association with women. Now senses have become desensitized. There's no effect, kind of. So that's not a good thing in one sense, because it means we are contaminated heavily with Rajagun, so contaminated, and we're not realizing. When one begins the path of bhakti or begins to then observe, because there's something called subtle sex. That means that we are not doing, you know, sexual activity, but speaking or looking, which probably what goes on in offices, some form of enjoyment by looking, speaking, laughing, you know, that kind of association, that also affects us and puts us in Rajagun, and then, you know, then again we're kind of not affected then easily. Okay, and but now when someone begins to follow devotional service and begins to follow principles of Vedic and Varnashram society, which happens in Iskcon, gradual separation of men and women, and no frivolous chatting and enjoying conversation between men and women, then the senses become strong of the men and the women, and they become more pure and more sattvic. In that sense, in that scenario, that case, a small kind of disturbance will make a big effect. And then they're wondering, I was not affected. Why am I affected by these? It's just because it's a form of advancement, you could say. And so right in the beginning, the rules are there that more strict than would be in normal society. I mean, it should be in every society that like if there's husband and wife, they should not associate with other husband and wife. You know, like a man is with a woman in the kitchen, it's not his wife, that is wrong, shouldn't be. And discussion between men and women is only between husband and wife. If it's another woman, then you go through her husband, these kind of things. So, yeah, that is the explanation. That why it becomes kind of more sensitive for devotees. This is the reason. They start to follow, they come to Sattva. So they're very easily affected because, you know, they're not desensitized. Yeah, I hope I give answer.
Prabhuji, what is the thing you told that Grihasthas should do, like something sanskara? Which sanskara you were talking about?
Garbhadan sanskar. What was that?
Yes, same thing. Which sanskar?
Garbhadan. That is in marriage.
Okay. And what does it means?
Before producing a child, it's some form of religious ceremony. You can, there's a whole book on it. Someone wrote in Iskcon. I can't tell you much. You can ask a Grihastha.
Okay.
I can give you a contact. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhuji. No, just asking.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Yeah.
One question was missed, I think, that second question I had put just before Deep's questions.
Okay.
That is last, yeah.
Oh, I didn't put it. It didn't come out. Let me look. Here, eating meat.
Yes, that one.
No, I answered that. Oh, I saw it. Okay, I didn't answer that. If someone is eating, okay, next question now. If someone is eating meat and chanting some rounds, at what stage do we tell them to refrain from such activities? In my experience, I never told anyone to stop meat and all these things. You know, somehow or other, they give it up. I recall 3 incidents. I never told them to stop meat. I never told them to stop anything bad. They stopped it. I mean, we have to preach in such a way. They come to a level and naturally they cannot do that. Now, if it happens, someone doesn't. If it a scenario like that, you just have to tell them that, look, you're doing well. This is good. If you want to go further, this is what you have to do. Not only meat, whatever the other restrictions are. But I can't recall telling much, you know, because I just push them to read books, hear lectures. And Prabhupada purifies, and the books, everything comes, and they get the instruction, and gradually they come up. But if they cannot do it, you have to point it out to them. Now, if you want to go further. So now at what stage? I would say when they get the taste for chanting, devotees, and prasadam. When they get the taste, then even if you tell them, they'll not feel, oh, I don't want to do this, let me go away. Because now they already got the taste. That's the point. So when you see that they are attracted to the holy name, to Krishna, devotees, prasadam, then you can start telling them about the anarthas. Before that, it won't make sense, because why are they doing that? To get some happiness. So they have to get happiness spiritually, then you can tell them to leave that. Then they leave it, or they can consider it. Okay, so I think that concludes all the questions. If it's something else personally, you can tell me. Here I can see Chiranjeevi. Do you have any question? Chiranjeevi? Or maybe, is he there? It looks like logged in. Okay.
Nothing from my side, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna. It's good you came though. Okay, so we'll end it here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.